Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Blessed Girl Summer. It's your girl Tisha here, helping you incorporate Blessed Girl Summer living in every part of your life. What does that mean? That means protecting your peace, securing your peace, making sure that you are well within your soul. So you're providing soul care for yourself, you're providing self care for yourself, your mental and physical well being are important. So, today, ladies and gents, we are talking about remaining centered in whatever season you may find yourself in. And so I wanted to kind of dive into this topic because seasons change, right? Naturally, seasons change. We have fall, spring, winter, summer. Seasons are changing, but seasons in our life change as well, right? We find ourselves in many different seasons. Some are super busy, or maybe some are just like really slow, like nothing is happening. Things are just kind of like dragging along. You know how some seasons seem like they last forever? Maybe you're in a desert season or a drought season, or maybe it's just a tough season, right? Where it's been tough on you mentally, or maybe it's tough on you physically, whatever tough looks like for you. We all experience different seasons of our lives, right? But the thing that I find that is super helpful for us when we're talking about our well being and being able to live this blessed girl summer life is being able to remain centered in the midst of whatever season we may find ourselves in. And so, some of the things that I know help me as I am looking to remain centered is I'm going to share with you today, right? So, let me just talk a little bit about, and maybe you can relate. When my schedule changes, like I feel completely thrown off. My routine, it feels like it takes me weeks to get back on track for my routine. And so let me explain. Like just recently, school has let out, and my son gets out of school in May. Most kids get out in June, but he gets out in May. So that really throws me off because these summer camps are not doing what they would do in June because most kids don't get out in May, right? And even just in general with like the school year, most people are not, getting out of school in May. Most young kids, right? Now, the college students, yes, they graduate in May, but the younger kids, they normally get out in June. And so it just kind of threw my whole routine off track. I was used to getting up at 5 a.m. for him for school. Now I don't have to get up at 5 a.m. But there were things that were happening at 5 a.m. I had a whole schedule, like a whole routine going, and how I started the rest of my day. So I was really surprised, even though I thought, oh, I'll get to sleep in longer. It'll be, I can't wait to not get up at 5 a.m. I was not chasing, like, that was not something that I actually enjoyed doing. But I found that after doing that for what, 10 months, it was a pattern, and I had integrated this pattern into my daily life, and I had created spaces for me to manage my self-care, for me to make sure that I am taking care of those things that I need to do for my mental wellness. And I had arranged a routine that really worked for me. And so now that my schedule has changed or the season has changed, and this would even happen, this is even true for when he would get like winter breaks or have some days off, it would just throw me off, right? And so I would feel very like, just like off, not centered, not something is missing. I'm a routine type of person. Like I need a routine in my life. And so when the routine was thrown off, it took me some weeks to get back on track. And so what I recognize is that there are some essential things that I need for me, right, to maintain the feeling of being centered. And so one of those things is that I need daily time for myself. That is essential. I need that time before the chaos of the day to regroup, right? To sit in a place of gratefulness and thankfulness, but just to also have like quiet before, someone is asking me to do something, before I start reading different emails, before I start getting busy with the to-do list and my mind starts going into all the things that I have to do. And what I came to realize was that when I got up at 5 a.m., it was before most people get up. Right. So it's a quiet time. Even though I couldn't stand it, I was half asleep driving him to school or driving him to the bus stop. After I had dropped him off, me and him, we were having our little bit of communication, but there wasn't a whole lot of noise like happening. Right. And so I just had an opportunity on my drive back to the house to really center myself and really focus myself, right? And that is something that I've come to realize that I need regardless of what the season is. I need to be able to have this time to myself before the chaos of the day. And so I had to now integrate that into this new season. That's something that I have to do. The second thing that I also need is I need time to process my thoughts, like daily. I think a lot, very analytical. I like to reflect. I need to reflect. I need to get the things that I'm thinking about, the things that I'm absorbing through the day, the things that I'm observing. I need to be able to get them out of my head. If I keep them in my head, I just feel like there's a lot of chaos, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of thinking, a lot of unresolved things happening in my head, which does not allow me to center. It doesn't allow me to hear myself, right? Or to be clear on, maybe it's being clear on how I feel, being clear on what I'm actually thinking about the information that I've kind of received throughout the day. And so I need an opportunity to process. I need time to process. And so ways that I do that is through either journaling or audio journaling. So this podcast is like an audio journal, y'all. When I was podcasting back in the day, this was my thing. This was like therapeutic to me because I could actually get the things that I was thinking, the things that I was feeling, get them out of my mind. It just feels like a whole bunch of different clutters of things in my head. And when I'm actually able to verbalize it or write it down, it begins to make sense. It begins to become something. And so I need that for myself and I need that daily. And so it may show up differently. It may show up as me journaling. It may show up as me taking out my phone while I'm driving to wherever I'm driving to and having an audible conversation with myself. It may be having an audible conversation with someone else on the phone, right? Getting these things out of my brain is something I have to do on a daily basis so that I can come into like oneness and get grounded again, because we're absorbing so much stuff all of the time. There's always something going on. We're taking in, we're encountering people, we're encountering different dynamics. And a lot of times we're kind of like, what just happened? Did that just happen? Why am I feeling like this? You know, I'm feeling frustrated. All these different things are going on. And I haven't really, if we don't take time, or if I don't take time to really like analyze that stuff or really reflect, then I just find myself having a whole bunch of feelings, having a whole bunch of thoughts, having a whole bunch of things that I'm thinking and that are going on that are never really settled. Like I've never really come to a conclusion about something. I'm just feeling some kind of way. And so then that thing can show up in so many different ways. And so for me, I've learned that it's really important that I get to process the stuff, because otherwise I'll be out here doing stuff and then you'd be like, why'd you do that? Why are you feeling this way? You'd be swearing this one thing and it's completely something different, just because we haven't taken the time to really reflect and figure out what's going on. What is going on in our heads, right? And so another way that I can do that is by going on walks, incorporating walks. I used to, so when I would get back at the 5 a.m. thing, I would take me a little nap and then I would get it from my nap and I would go for a walk. I'm like, okay, the walk is really good because it gives me time to process, gives me time to breathe, gives me an exercise that's outside. So now I'm incorporating breathing in this. I'm incorporating exercise. I'm incorporating nature. I'm incorporating all these things that are just giving me an opportunity to unwind, to let go, right? And to receive the newness of the day. I typically do my walk in the morning, but sometimes I'll do my walk in the afternoon. So it'll be an opportunity for me to also release the stuff of the day. Like what's been going on all day? Because stuff happens all day long, right? You may find yourself dealing with something with the kids, or dealing with something with the coworkers, or dealing with something that you saw on TV that maybe upset you or triggered you in some kind of way. And you don't even know why it's triggering you, right? Because you really haven't taken the time to center yourself. Some people like to say, know thyself. Some of us are walking around here, and this used to be me, present company included, having all kinds of feelings, having all kinds of thoughts that we're just suppressing and we're not dealing with. And they pile up and they go nowhere. they just build up. And then we see things like stress and we see things like anxiety. When we're trying to figure out like why am I so anxious? Why am I so nervous? Why am I so irritated? Why is everything irritating me? Why do I feel so tired all the time? Right. And so some of these things play a role in how we are feeling. And so for me, I know that I absolutely on a daily basis, I need to be able to have space and time to do these things. And so another thing is taking time. For me, I need to spend time in prayer. I need to spend time with some type of devotion, some type of devotional, which basically is something that is based on the Bible, based on the Word of God. And it's just reminding me of my purpose, reminding me of how important it is to be intentional about my purpose, intentional about who I want to be in this earth, right? And so for some of you who may not be spiritual or religious, it may look like meditation, right? And it may look like affirmations. The affirmations are reminding you of what your purpose is, what your vision is, why you're doing the things that you're doing. Why are these things important to you? What is important to you? Reminding you of your priorities, reminding you of your values, reminding you of your why, right? And that is something that has to happen on a daily basis because a baby, you will get up and encounter all kinds of things that'll make you question why you're doing the stuff you're doing, right? Why you're showing up for folks that you're showing up for. Why are you, on this job? Why are you serving or giving in this particular way? You'll be questioning all these things. And so it's really great when you're able to recenter yourself, remind yourself. We have to be reminded. I don't know about y'all, but I don't have to remember what I ate 2 days ago or even the day before. Like my memory is just so shot at times. And so we have to remind ourselves of the reasons why we're doing certain things, the values that we hold, the things that are important to us, because that is going to be the core of who we are. And that should be what is dictating our actions or even the things that we put on our plate. Like what we sign up for, what we invest our energy and our time in, right? Allowing there to be a purposeful intent behind what we're doing. And so that way, when we remind ourselves, this is important to me, right? Making sure that, let's say, for example, why am I getting up at 5 a.m. every morning? Because I want to make sure that he's able to attend the school that is going to set him up for the things that are going to be beneficial for him in the future. My son happens to go to an early college school, so he's going to have the benefit of being able to obtain 2 years of college credit when he actually graduates from high school. That's a big why. Right? That's a big thing. That's something that I want to do for him to set him up for his future. That's something I believe is a benefit to him. And so I have to remind myself when that thing ring at 5 a.m. for me to get up and I'm tired, that is my why. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm sacrificing in this way. That's why I'm investing my time and my energy in this way. That's why I go out of my way to do X, Y, and Z. And so sometimes we need to recenter and remind ourselves why we're doing the things that we're doing. And then we can also question, like, is this still for me in this phase of my life? Like, is this still something that is of importance for me to be doing in this season? Is it still aligning with my goals? Is this still aligning with my values? Because as we grow and as we change as individuals, some of those things that we value may be adjusted, right? Some of those goals that we have may be shifted. And is this still something that I want to prioritize in my life? Right. The thought that's coming to my mind now is that sometimes we experience different illnesses, right? Sometimes we experience different seasons of life that make some things more important than others. That thing that was so important last season, after I done been through X, Y, and Z, girl, that thing is not that important no more. I don't have that much time to be wasting and exerting energy in that space. And so for me, I'll say one of those things is, I don't have a lot of energy for like messiness and like relationships and stuff like that. Like I don't have energy for that stuff anymore. Whereas before I used to exert a lot of energy in that space. Like that was really important to me in that season to still be able to show up no matter how messy and grimy and gritty and the stuff it got. But as I'm getting older and different things are changing for me and I prioritize different things, I don't have that same energy to exert in that space. And so my values have shifted in that way. And so I show up differently. I exert different energy in different spaces. And so it's so important that we're able to be centered, to know what's going on with us, and not just within us, but in our ecosystem. What is happening with us, right? What is happening in our season that we might need to adjust and shift and change? And so even though the seasons may change, the importance of us centering should not, right? And, so our schedules may change, things may change, our jobs may change, right? Our relationships may change, our location, where we're living, where we're staying, where we're spending our time, that may change. The communities that we're a part of, the relationships that we have, those things may change. But the things that keep you centered and keep you grounded in what your values and what your purpose is, the reflections that you're able to do to remind you of those spaces, those things absolutely need to remain the same. And so I hope that this has helped you as you're going through and navigating through different spaces of life, different seasons of life, to help you think about, what are the things that center me? What are the things that center me? And making sure that regardless of what season I find myself in, regardless of what I'm navigating in this particular season, I got to make sure that I'm creating time and space to be centered, and to have the things that promote centeredness for me. So guys, as always, I believe that we can have a blessed girl summer in any season that we find ourselves in. And if you're not sure what a blessed girl summer is, that means that we are showing up as our fullest selves. We are operating and believing for favor, and we know that we are covered and protected. We have hope. We have encouragement. We are assured that we are moving in everything that is for us in this particular season, no matter what it looks like. And we're going to rejoice in the process because we know that all things work together for our good. And so in order for us to do that, that's absolutely a mindset that we have to take on. And in order for us to have that mindset, we got to be able to remain centered in these different seasons. And so hope that this has been helpful for you. If it has, please let your girl know. Love to hear more from you in terms of things that you would like to discuss, questions that you may have, and of course, love for you to leave a review, tell everyone how much you're enjoying it, and share it with a friend. Share with a friend. So guys, until next time, make sure that you are protecting your peace, curing your peace, and that all is well with your soul. Talk to you later.